Hey CLC family, we're kicking off our new series, Awkward Family Christmas. All of us have gone through some awkward moments in our life where we wish we could just forget about everything that's happened to us or some of the people that have been in our lives that have just created some really awkward and touch and go circumstances. Our text this past week was found in Matthew chapter 1, and Joseph has one of the most awkward moments anyone could imagine. He hears the word that his wife's pregnant, except he's not the father. But she's got this wonderful news. Don't worry, it wasn't another dude. It happened to be the Holy Spirit that impregnated me. Are you kidding me? That would be an awkward conversation. And so Joseph, being the just guy that he was, didn't want to make this big public spectacle, the whole thing, but he just decides, you know what? We just need to head for divorce. But could you imagine if he had divorced her? His story would have been forgotten. No one would have ever known who Joseph was. The reason why we know Joseph's story is he allowed his faith to overcome his doubt. It wasn't that he didn't doubt. He had lots of doubts, which is why he wanted to divorce his wife. But when the angel of the Lord spoke to him and says, hey, don't be afraid. What Mary has inside of her is of the Holy Spirit. And that was just a dream, for crying out loud. I'd need like a DNA test or something. But for Joseph, that was enough for him to trust God in some very, very touchy and very, very awkward moments. I'm reminded as I was passing through that text of my friend Pablo. Pablo had gone through his own really, really awkward moment in life. He was the most successful at his organization and had climbed all the way to the top of the ladder. But then suddenly it was like the rug was pulled out from under him. He lost everything overnight. Not only was his position at work gone, but he also lost the love of his life. It was a terrible season for him. So terrible that he became suicidal. One night, in this rage of pain and emotion, he was just sitting there, just contemplating, should I end it all? But as the sun dawned on the new day, he heard his father speak from the other room and say, you see, the sun does rise. Had he given up on that, he would have never ever seen all of the wonderful blessings that he had seen after that date. He touched so many lives. And so much of those dark seasons that he had gone through, all of the difficulty that he had encountered, were just small in comparison to all of the great things that God was wanting to do through and in his life. You might be going through an awkward season where you're not even sure where and how God is at work. But I promise you one thing, God is at work. Secondly, that even in the midst of what you are facing, you have to know that God is with you right in the center of that. As we think through this series and all of the awkward moments that are going to come to us, I just have this one question that I just want you to think about as we're moving forward today. And that is, in your awkward moments, the ones that you've had before, where did you see God was at work? Or perhaps right now you're in an awkward season and you're just not sure how in the world God could ever be in the pain that you're at, and you just need some prayer. Either way, we want to hear from you. Hit us up on Facebook, chime in on our Twitter or whatever it is that you have connection with us, and let us hear what it is that you have to say.